Well, let me just say that when people don't need to eat food, when people only need a minimum amount of water to survive, is a small amount of gold every 6 months to survive, that they can biolocate anywhere they want to go. They don't need automobiles, cars, anything like this. Your world is going to dramatically change. Society as you know it is not going to be the same. The values you have now are going to change. I mean, and so it's like the end of an era and the beginning of a new type of life. And that's what the prophecies project here. This is the end of the old era and the beginning of a new era. See, we can't make, when the powder disappears, it always reappears back in the pan. It has to have a consciousness that tells it where to go. And nobody is inside of it to tell it where to go. If you think where you want to be, I believe you go to that, you reappear at that place. You know, the stories you hear about the alchemists can multiply material, but unfortunately there is no magic here. Even though some of this seems really magical, it really is science, and I don't think it multiplies, although if you have a material that can produce gamma level radiation, you can take lead and make it into gold. It literally can be made into gold using gamma radiation. There will be a tremendous amount of heat during the process, and so you have to protect it during the heating process so that this heat doesn't damage something. Yeah, the interaction when you can force it to have gamma radiation released from it, and therefore it will transmute the lead into gold. But probably for a while. And I've made gold before that in 24 hours was now platinum, not gold. You know, it changes in a because the isotope is very fast. It makes the transition. Well, right now I don't know of anyone else that controls this and knows the knowledge that we have at this time. And I have control over this project, how it'll be run and how it'll be distributed.
That's the second question. What happens if something happens to you?
Well, then you're in trouble. All right. My son does work for me. He was the president of the Baptist Student Union in the state of Arizona, and he really gets upset with me over what I'm doing here because he is a born-again Christian, but he would respect my wishes that he would handle this as I want it handled. So, and he works with me every day. He helped me do all these transfers of my transparencies onto this, what did Geckler call it, a PowerPoint? I'm still living in the transparency age. I thought that was pretty high-tech when I learned that during our last talking. Now I'm finding out they got it on some little memory chip. Well, why did they call it the semen of the Father in heaven? Have you ever looked at semen? It's not dry. It's not a white powder. Now, oh, yeah, the cone is literally the hieroglyphic symbol for gold in the white powder form. It's a cone like this. And if you read their, well, even the temples, even they made their pyramids, they tried to make them look like that, but it was falling down. It wouldn't stand, so they had to make them like this. But the first ones, they tried to go more like that. And the material they were making now wouldn't withstand the height with only a little bit of width. Well, we've worked with a little bit already. Okay, but you have to get enough in you to totally fill the body to see the quantum superconductivity. What we have now is resonance connections, and you literally become very healthy, but you don't transform. I'm talking about gold and only gold that will allow you to transform, and that's a heavy-duty decision to make to do it. As long as it's resonant connecting, it is naturally going on right now in your body. It's not something that needs me to help you do that. It is working right now. Yeah, up here?
I want to know if you've done any guesstimations on what the financial cost would be to get that quantum field just full.
Once you have done this, and once people can see it work, there'll be absolutely no problem at all in getting financial support. with no strings attached. I guarantee it. Once it's been demonstrated, nobody will hesitate.
I no doubt about that. But the point
But you got to be prepared for a war. Because I guarantee AMA, FDA, Doctors Association, everybody's going to say, we got to stop this. It can't happen. And I'm telling you,
Everybody goes out of business.
yeah, but I'm telling you, it can't be stopped.
I'm just trying to get a sense of,
The cost of one dose?
yeah, any Joe in this room.
All right, all right. How much is the cost of an ounce of gold? How much is a gram and a half? There's 31 grams an ounce. How? 1/28 of $1,500. Can you afford that?
1/10 is 100.
Pope a Nazi? It was in the SS, you know that.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's a problem. You know, that is not an expense as far as the gold. Actually, the physical labor to convert that to pure monatomic and the administration of that to people is actually more cost than the gold itself.
Yeah.
So it's not gold we need to worry about. It's the technology and getting it to the people and monitoring so it's done without any damage, any injury to the patient initially. You know, and then once we see how it works and everything's rosy and working nice, then you can back up your controls on it. But the initial occurrence has to be carefully monitored, I think, just for all our protections.
You've got everyone in the room.
Huh?
You've got everyone in the room.
Geckler said 3 more questions from this side.
You can take questions.
All right.
A lot of people have been talking about the second coming of Christ and everything, and one of those people has been David Wilcock, and a lot of other people have talked about it. And I was just wondering, considering that everyone here has come here in the name of healing and furthering healing sciences, and given the whole mystique behind the whole May 21st thing, is somehow are we all kind of drawn here? Is this the beginning of something like that?
It most certainly seems like it. When you have your garment of glory on and you are like an angel, you literally can look upon the face of your Creator without dying. You can literally know Him and any aspects of Him, whether it's Christ or Buddha or whoever you want. I mean, they're going to be there. And all your ancestors and your family and the people who died and gone on, they're going to be there. And you will know all things and understand all things without reading any books. So all decisions you make will have the perspective of knowing what it's going to do, what it's going to mean in the future, because you already know what the future holds. So it's not going to be the same. Well, right now there's really an awful lot of very important people who involved in this. That's why I want to show you credentials right here. This is just some of the people. There's a whole lot more involved in this. And there's an awful lot of people in the world who know this is going on and have physically been involved in working with us. But I'm not giving you all their names out of respect for them. But it is coming, and it's going to come as science, and it's something that people will demand once they see it work, and there's nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop it once people know what it is, how it was made, and how to make it available. If I don't do it, Barry's going to do it, and there'll be somebody that'll eventually get there. If I'm gone, it'll complete it. So I plant the tree. The ORMUS material is the golden tree of life, which I didn't know when we filed a patent that was actually the name for the golden tree of life. I'm a descendant of the Davidic bloodline that all the Holy Blood, Holy Grail books talk about. I'm a De Guise descendant. A latter-day David will plant the golden tree of life. I don't know if that's me or not. It just makes me feel eerie that it actually is the case. But whatever. It's about the project. It's about getting out to the general public. It's about it being there so that people who have ears to hear will hear, and people who have eyes to see will see, and understand to prepare, because it's coming. This is about the work, and this is about the project, and it's not financial gain to myself. It's not recognition for myself. It's nice to have somebody give you the finance or the recognition, but it really isn't. I know what I've done. and I know those sacrifices. I know what I walked by and said, not for me. I don't need those millions of dollars. Just walk on by. It's the project. And I do understand that. And so I have been just, if I need help, I raise my hand like I'm doing now. And if I don't, I could call the other people and say, send me, $100,000 so I can develop standards. They'll do it. Won't ask questions. But I just don't want to bring them into this. I want it to be totally independent standards because it isn't just for us. It's for people in medicine. It's for people in ORMUS. It's for people that need to prove something if they're litigating. It's reality. And to me, if it's the facts or the facts or the facts, then by golly, let's get the facts. This is just, I'm looking at this as sounding a bell that school is about to begin. It's letting the world know that this is coming. Get ready.